Okay, today I'm going to disassemble a couple of my Wilson Combat 1911 magazines. These are 8-round magazines, and we're going to clean them up. What I'm going to show you is what you're going to need to do this. You don't need much. You need some kind of a punch to get the bottom base plate off. You probably use a small screwdriver for that. You'll need a brush. And I'll show you what that's for. That's for cleaning the inside of the tube. You need some kind of a cleaner. I like to use original gun oil. It's non-toxic. I can use it in the house. It doesn't smell. It's non-scented. It also supports veterans. It's a lubricant and a cleaner, CLP, cleaner lubricant protectant. And I like to have a long screwdriver. Sometimes when you're putting the follower back in, it can get stuck, and it's just nice to have a long screwdriver to help get that in place. All right, I got two types of Wilson Combat magazines here. This one they just have slightly different base plates. They're both 8-round magazines. This one has a narrower base plate. They both come apart the same way. There's a little hole in the bottom, and there's a little nipple in there that you need to press down on. So I'm going to press down on that, and I'm going to push the base plate this way. Just real simple. You just push down. Once you start pushing it, you can take the punch out. You want to use safety goggles for this because there is a spring involved. You don't want things shooting out and hitting you in the face. And I like to keep my thumb over the top here just in case something's not sitting right and it comes popping out. So now you're going to have this other little metal plate here, and this is going to also slide off the top. Put that aside now. Now here's your magazine spring. You just kind of got to release that, comes popping out, and just work this out. You don't want to stretch this in any way or twist it in any way. You want to keep that from getting damaged. It's not terribly fragile, but so now we want to get the follower. It's just kind of sitting in there, but it is kind of a tight fit. So you want to bring it out the top here. So kind of press down on the back of it. Just kind of get it to come out the front here. Okay, like that. Now you see how these are pretty dirty. I haven't cleaned these in a while. So we're going to get to the cleaning part and get these all cleaned up. For the cleaning, I'm just going to take a little bit of this oil. We don't really want to lube this per se, but I'm going to use, I always use my finger. The stuff's non-toxic. It's not going to do anything except get me dirty. But I do like to wipe, get nice and clean. Just clean it up with a little bit of this oil. I'm going to get all the dirt off of there. Get that cleaned up. Base plates don't get too messy, but another drop of this. This stuff's not going to hurt any synthetics. This is really good oil. It doesn't hurt anything. Pretty safe stuff. And yeah, it does a good job with lubrication. I use it on my guns too. Okay, I'm going to just clean that. This piece looks pretty clean. Might as well clean everything while we're here. The spring, we want to just wipe that off. Good. Now to get the inside of the tube, a lot of ways to do that. You could just kind of feed your rag through there and pull it through and clean it. I'm going to put a little drop of, just one drop on there. And I'm going to kind of just use the brush to clean the inside of this. Get that all nice and cleaned up. It'll leave a little residue of that oil on there, which is not a bad thing. Keep the inside of the magazine nice and smooth. All right, now just for good measure, I'm going to just kind of wedge this rag through there, just to kind of get any of the dirt out of there. This wasn't terribly dirty, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. So we're just going to put it back together. It's kind of obvious the way it goes, but let's Just make sure that this is going to go this way. This kind of sits in here, and you want that to kind of sit in there flat. You don't want to push it too much because it is just plastic. Kind of want it to end up sitting more or less like that, like it should. Now this is important. On these springs, this is the front. This sits in here this way, kind of like that. So that this will line up with the angle of the follower. So just kind of work it in like this. Work it back and forth. It's going to start to get some tension. So just don't point it at your face, and wear some goggles. Safety goggles always when working on guns. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to get it to stay in like that. I would still keep your thumb over there. Now this piece, make sure the nipple is up. You're going to kind of have to press down a little, get it under these lips and slide it in. So it looks just like that. Base plate. You got your notches here. We're going to line them up like that. Just press down a little till they line up. Now you can use your finger, just press down a little bit on the metal plate, enough to get this past it. And then once you slide it in, it should pop back into place. And there we have it. You now have a clean 1911 magazine. I put a link in the description below of all the things I used here, just in case you don't have these items. And a rag. I just cut up a t-shirt for that. All right, and I recommend for any 1911 Wilson Combat magazines, these are the best. I don't use the manufacturer's magazines anymore. Had too many problems with those, and these tend to work flawlessly. Even dirty, they were working well, but I'm gonna clean them. I got about 6 of these. I'm gonna clean them all right now. All right, so please subscribe, and thanks for watching.